Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome to my greenhouse. I am Barbara with Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm so glad that you stopped by today. Today I'm in the tunnel and I've been gone for about 3 or 4 days. And so I came out to the tunnel to check everything out, and I've taken the covers off of everything so that we can do our weekly fertilization. And I thought I would show you how things are looking once the covers are all off. So at this time of the year, as we're transitioning to the fall, I pick back up my fertilization schedule every week, especially as I'm transplanting and putting things in the ground to help them get off to a good start and to get to a period of growth. Once the weather starts to get cold, I will back off the fertilization, and I don't fertilize as much when it's cold. But up until that point, I try to fertilize every week, again, just to get them really established and to make sure they have nutrients to carry them through. And I say the harsh winter. We're in zone 7 in the state of Tennessee, so our winter is not harsh compared to most, but it does. I mean, for the past 2 winters, we've gotten down to 0 degrees for like a week stretch, which is very unheard of for us. I would say the average low here is probably 15 to 20 degrees. So it doesn't get necessarily harsh. That's not the right word, but it does get cold for us. But I try to, again, do all that fertilization up front before we get too cold, so that way they have the nutrients that they need. Also, one of the things that I'll do as we get closer to the cold and the winter is that I will mulch everything very, very heavily. That helps for them to retain moisture. It also helps to protect the crops, and it also insulates them so that they can stay warm during those harsh times. So that's all the things. And again, like I said, we're in that transition phase. And I guess for us in this particular tunnel, we have transition. There is nothing out here that's a summer crop except our last session of cucumbers, which we do have some cucumbers to pick, but everything else is fall, our fall crops out here. Now, we still have an outside garden that has our summer crops in it that we've been still harvesting, and we're going to pull that stuff out. It's just a matter of time when we have the time to pull it out, but it should be hopefully cleared out, I would say, in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So by the first part of October, we should be clearing that out, but there's no rush because there's nothing going out there once we pull that stuff out. So there's no rush. So that's why our focus has been mainly heavily in the tunnel. I'm going to go ahead and give everything a good water. Even though we have it on drip, I do like to give it a good water or soak in once or twice a week, just to make sure that everything is moisturized and covered, especially again, because these are all relatively new plants that we all planted together. Probably have been in the ground, I would say, a good 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so I've watered and I've fertilized. And so also let me talk about this. So in the fall / winter, I do switch out one of my fertilizers that I only use usually around the fall and the winter, because it is called, and I've showed you this before, but it's by Eat and Go. The thing is heavy. I'll try to find a picture and put it up here. It's called Fusion Veg. I'll try to put a picture up here because the container is heavy. I'm using the same container that I bought. This might be year 3. I have to go back and look. If not, it's year 2. Now, it's expensive, but I've had it for at least 2 years. And the first year that I got it, I used it every single week in the summer, and it does good on summer crops, but it is very, very good for green leafy things like collards, lettuce, and things like that. It helps very much with the production of those types of crops. Not that you can't use it on tomatoes, but what you'll find is if you use it too much on your tomatoes, you'll have a lot of leaves, but not a lot of fruit, right? And so that's why it's real make sure that you know what fertilizer you're using and why. Again, this is a organic product. It is highly successful. Like, it makes all of your crops look so bright green, so healthy. I've used it, like I said, for at least 2 years. This might be year 3, and it does a wonderful job. But once I was talking to one of my garden mentors, where I went and took that workshop a couple of years ago, he was saying that it's best to use it on leafy things versus things that are producing a fruit like a tomato, corn, and things like that. So I just started to back off using it in the summer, and now I usually mostly in the fall and the winter, because that's usually when you have like your leafy things: spinach, kale, lettuce, collard greens, turnip greens, those types of things. So I use that most. This is my first time using it this fall. I'll use it every single week again until it starts to get really, really cold. And then also I'm using Ultra, which I use Ultra all year round. It is a prebiotic or probiotic for plants. It helps build up your plants' immune system, so to speak, and just help your plants to be healthy. It's not necessarily a fertilizer with nutrients, but it's to kind of strengthen your plants. And I've talked about that one several times. It is by AgriGrow. I have been using that product for 2+ years, and it is excellent. I use it every single week, every single time that I fertilize. So let me turn the camera around and show you how plants are doing. Overall, I will tell you they are doing good. I do have some plants that I have lost, not due to insects, but due to the same thing that happens, the mystery, like the plant is there and then all of a sudden it's gone. Let me show you. Okay, this is the first bed, and you can see some things are laying down because I just watered. But this bed has our Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and bunching onions, and of course, old faithful eucalyptus there. But you can see that so far they're looking good. Like I said, I've taken back all of the covers. I will cover them back up, but you can see that the covers are definitely helping. I do not have a lot of insect damage at all. Look at my lemon balm. I really need to harvest it. It has gone absolutely crazy. Okay, so this bed here is lettuce on the far right. We got 2 rows of lettuce. In the middle is red cabbage, and then on the left hand side is green cabbage. So far those are looking great. Over here is cauliflower, and you can see right in here, like, all of these plants are gone. I had plants going all the way down. They are gone, like just disappeared. And I know I put them there. And then I had some right here that are gone. And then you can see here, it looks like something has bitten or eat that right there. So I don't know if that's animal or insect. So you can kind of see a close-up of it there. Now, we have gone through this before, and I call it a mystery because it's literally like the plant is there and then it's not. Like, it just didn't disintegrate. You know, and sometimes, you know, you're thinking, okay, maybe it was transplant shock, but then I think I showed you on the video last week, like, some of the plants were there, but you could tell that it was like weak and struggling. Now the plant is completely gone, which makes me think that something has eaten it. But here's the thing. Why didn't they get everything in the bed? I'm glad they didn't, but it's just, it blows my mind because I don't know what that is. I think we're going to start putting our traps back out for sure. I got my husband over here. I'm going to see if he can put the traps out for me. Because we're going to try our best not to go through the issue we had last fall with the vole. If you were here, you know all about it. If you weren't here, we had a major vole issue in our raised bed and we lost a lot of crops, but we did prevail and we did end up having a good harvest. But I really don't want to go through that again. But I don't know what that is, but that's okay. I got extra plants. We're going to put them out, but I do think I need to go ahead and set some traps out because maybe they started there and they're going to do the rest of the bed. I don't know. It's just odd. Okay, this bed here, we have lettuce on the right, and then beside the lettuce to the left of that is cilantro, and then we have 2 rows of kale, a red and a green. You can see that those things are looking good. It doesn't seem bothered, and it's so funny because this cover I accidentally tore and it has a hole in it, so if something wanted to come in, it could. But that bed looks good, so we're thankful for that. Moving over here to this bed is our carrots, and they're laying down because I watered, but 2 rows of carrots on the right, and that middle one is radish, and then to the far left are more carrots that we planted. I need to come in here and thin these radishes out, yes, they can have a little bit more space to grow, but you can kind of see the whole bed there. And then let me take you to this very last bed. Okay, this bed is mostly bok choy. You can see it is looking pretty good. We should be able to harvest this by the end of October for sure. And then right there on the left-hand side, we have some arugula that we've done for the first time. And it's looking good. Now our in-row stuff, you can see these are Brussels sprouts. They're looking good. They take a long time to grow. We have a little bit of insect damage there. You can tell, and then there. Those look pretty decent. I would say both of these rows overall, I will say that 90% of it looks good, but then like I have some stuff missing. Like there was something there and there. It's missing, but as you can see, the stuff beside it looks great. Y'all, what do y'all think it is? This happened to me last year and we didn't know. We didn't know. Again, maybe it's the whole vole thing again. But you can see that most of this is looking pretty good. I think I am going to also spray with BT while I have the covers off before I cover them back up in case it is an insect. And like here, these were not covered because we ran out of hoops. We have more hoops and coming tomorrow. Like these weren't covered and you can see they got tore up. Then you go over here on this side. Overall, you can see that these rows look pretty good. These are collard greens here. This section right here was never planted. My husband forgot to do these few in the middle, so they were never planted. So we got to put something in there. But for the most part, that's kale. You can see how that's doing. Now, I did have something in these 4 spaces that is gone. So like you have that looking good, empty, empty, empty. And then you have plants again. It is the strangest thing, but that's okay. And then here's our cucumber plant. And then look at our basil. Okay, and so how I feel about it is this. Is that I would say 90% of my stuff is still here and it's in good shape. So I'm not complaining. I am grateful. It just frustrates you because you don't know what it is. And I guess nothing is 100% foolproof. I definitely still believe in the hoops and the cover because I just know from past experience 2 years ago, before I started using the cover and the hoops, I had like pretty much major damage. And this is not major. It is minor. Right now we're going to try to keep it that way, but without using the covers and the hoops, I had tons of just insect damage. Not even, and maybe the insects got to them before the animals did and the animals were on their way, but my plants were just tore up, lacy, bugs, all of the things. So the cover is definitely helping for sure. What we're going to do next is let's go to the cucumber plant. Let's go ahead and harvest. I see a few cucumbers that we can get. So we're going to harvest some cucumbers. We're going to harvest some basil so I can put that in the freeze dryer. And maybe we'll do the lemon balm as well. Y'all, my cucumber plants don't look the best. You can see that I have some powdery mildew on these plants. So they're not going to be here much longer. But for the few cucumbers that's on here, I'm going to go ahead and get those. Again, I'm not even going to try to treat it. I'm not that stressed about it. This is the second succession of cucumbers. So let's just see what the cucumbers are like that we find. So I harvested 4 cucumbers only. 2 of them didn't look good, so I kept 2. Again, I'm not even going to worry about it. It is what it is. And then I harvested a whole handful of basil. And so now I'm over here. I think I'm going to harvest some oregano so I can make me some more Italian season and get some of this sage as well. And sage will come in handy definitely for Thanksgiving. So good time to harvest my herbs. Give them a good cutting. And so either I can just use this sage and dry it as is and leave it, you know, just as dried sage, or I can put it into my Italian seasoning blend like I did before, because I only have like half a jar left. That stuff is so good. Where we made some Italian seasoning mix. Okay, my oregano is spreading, so let me go ahead and get a nice chunk of this. Oh, it smells so good. So good. And this will last through the winter in the tunnel, the oregano and the sage as well. The basil won't, but I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. So we're gonna put that in there. And what kind of oregano is this? I don't remember. I don't know if it's Greek. I don't think it is. So that's all good. So we cut that back quite a bit. Here's more basil. This is gone to seed, so I'm not gonna even worry about that. I have plenty basil, but we'll get this last little bit and add it to our mixture. Okay guys, so I was able to get, this whole side is oregano, this whole side is sage. Smells so good. And then I got a big old basket here of basil. This is lemon thyme, and then this is rosemary. So I got a pretty good herb harvest, which is great. I think that I'm gonna make some more Italian seasoning, but if I have enough, I'm gonna also do separately some oregano, dried oregano, so I have my own, and then some sage as well, so that I have my own, so that I can use for Thanksgiving, because I've never had my own sage. Yeah, this is my first time. Either I had it and I didn't harvest it, or the sage didn't do good. I usually have a trouble with sage, but this year we did pretty well with the sage. I want to show you one more thing. I want to show you my potatoes. Before I left, they were flowering. So I need to go out here and water them because they're not on drip. So let's go take a look and see if we can see any flowers. Oh yeah, we have flowers. Look at that. Look, 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 look. Plenty of flowers. Plenty of flowers. Y'all, we have come a long way. The potatoes are looking so good. Let me get you a shot here. They look so good. Y'all, I'm excited about my potatoes. So in case you're new, these potatoes are Yukon Gold potatoes. And I got them from Wood Prairie. They're organic slips. We planted them. I don't remember how long they've been in there. Let's see. Probably the first part of August, maybe. So maybe they've been in there 6 or 7 weeks. I have to go back and look at the date. But anyway, it's my first time doing a fall planting of potatoes, and I'm trying to see if I can get them harvested before the first frost come, if I'll actually have potatoes. But the flowering is a good sign. So when they flower, that means in 2 to 3 weeks after they flower, you can at least harvest them as baby potatoes. And then once they start to die back, 2 to 3 weeks after that, you'll have full-grown potatoes typically. So if nothing else, I should definitely be able to get baby potatoes, but we're going for bigger potatoes. So I'll keep you posted on how those are going. Okay, y'all, you can tell the sun is about to set, so it's getting dark. I still got to cover my plants that's inside the tunnel. At least I can put the light on there, but we're gonna call it a wrap. So this is just a pretty easygoing day. Uncovered the plants, watered and fertilized, so I got that checked off for the week. Did a small harvest of cucumbers, very small, and we did a nice good size harvest of the herbs, which is great. We can put those in the freeze dryer. Potatoes are looking good. The rest of this, y'all, when I say it is a hot mess express, it is a hot mess express. But don't worry, one day, very soon, all of this will be over and done. And I have stuff out here to harvest, but it's about to get dark, so I'll do it probably tomorrow. But I saw plenty of peppers, jalapenos and bell peppers and banana peppers that's ready to harvest. That's pretty much all that's going on out here. And we're still getting like 2 baskets, I would say, of peppers a week, which is still pretty good for me letting it go and not tending to it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that your fall gardens are doing well. If you're transitioning to those, if you're taking a break for the fall and winter, I understand. Get you some rest, but be ready to go full swing ahead, because before you know it, y'all, it'll be time to start seeds again before you know it. But we're not gonna rush it. We're gonna bask in this slower pace and slower season. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.